In this video, I'm gonna show you how I configured PPPoE, point-to-point protocol over Ethernet. So I actually have step-by-step procedure. So this is how I configured PPPoE on the client. This is the client configuration here, and just step 3 until step 3, and this is how you can verify the connection. The PPPoE connection by doing the following commands. And this is the ISP configuration. I think in real world you're not going to configure the server, but I'm gonna still show you how you can configure the server just in case you need to. You want to try it in TNS3 also. So yeah, let's follow the procedure here. So first off, you have to configure the dialer interface. So I'm gonna go to the client. So it is already configured, as you can see here, but I'm gonna show you the configuration. So here you have to specify the MTU. MTU is lower than 1500 because of the additional header, and of course IP address is negotiated. Let me just do this. IP address negotiated over PPP, so that's why we chose that command. And encapsulation is PPP, it's already here. And the dialer pool, you need to specify the dialer pool, which is you need to create a dialer pool. Let me do this. Dialer pool. Oh, that's a lot of commands. Dialer pool. Here, specify a dialer pool to be used. So in our case, using 2. And this is how you specify the host names. The host name and the password. In this case, we are using chap authentication. So here should be here. Chap authentication. Here, set chap authentication parameters, and what else? Yeah. So that's how I specify the host name and the password. And after you have configured the dialer interface, you can then go ahead and configure the physical interface. So this is how you configure the physical interface. Let me just show it to you. So this is the physical interface facing the DSLAM. DSLAM stands for Digital Subscriber Line X Manager. And In this case, this is also our server. So this is the interface, like I said, the physical interface facing the server. So you need to specify the dialer pool number, which is pointing to the dialer pool that we created here. Here. Where is it? Here. This one. And PPPoE enable is added automatically once you enter this command, so you don't have to enter this command or configure this command. And I went ahead and configure a default route pointing to the dialer 1 interface. I'm pointing it to dialer 1 because the IP address could change. So let me show you the output of this command again. So this IP address could change, like I said. So it's better, or it's recommended that you point your default route to the dialer interface. And of course, I configured this client or router, this command, so I can ping I can ping domain names, for example, google.com. I can ping it, and of course, I specify the DNS server as this, as Google. This is Google server, one of Google servers. And this is how you, this is how you configure the dialer interface, and this is how you configure the physical interface facing the ISP. And this is how you need to create a default route pointing to the dialer interface, in this case dialer 1. You can do a domain lookup, so you can ping domain names and of course the DNS server. So I listed some verification commands here, so I can actually do this command. So you can see that dialer interface is up, spoofing, meaning that even if we shut down the physical interface, this dialer interface will still show up. So that's why it says spoofing here, and it's bound to virtual access to in our case. So when you actually do this command, you see that this dialer interface is bound to virtual access to, not this one. And you can also do this command, show PPPoE session. Let me do it again. Okay, same. So this is the remote MAC address. This is the local MAC address. So that is also the MAC address that you will see if I do that command. So same MAC address. So this would be the MAC address on this interface here on the ISP device. What else? Yeah, show. You can actually do this command. So to monitor or to observe the packets, the incoming packets and the outgoing packets. So here we have some outgoing packets. So that's pretty much it. So you've got 3 steps to configure PPPoE on the client. So this is like I said earlier, you don't have to know the configuration on the ISP device unless you are working on the ISP side. But this is how you configure the ISP device. You have to specify the username. I'm actually gonna go to the ISP device here. So show run username. So that's the username and password, and show run begin BBA. So this is the you can specify the bba-group and template, virtual template one. It should be template one. And this is how you configure. I mean, this is the configuration of the virtual template one. So you have to specify also the MTU lower than 1500, and this is the IP address. I configured NAT in this case because I mean, for this client here to get to the internet, basically. And this is how you specify the pool. This is the pool that I created. So this is the range of the IP addresses that can be allocated to the clients. And this is the authentication chap calling. So meaning that the client has to request, I mean, has to send a request so that the server can respond. And this is how you configure the physical interface. So in this case, gigabit 0/0, no IP address, and this is the group. So here, basically, you're calling this group here, and enable it on this interface, on the physical interface. So yeah, I mentioned earlier that even if you shut down the interface, this interface here, the physical interface here, gig 0/0, the dial interface will still show up. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and do that. So shut down that interface, and I'm gonna do. You see that you see a lag that that interface is down. So you still see that. I mean, we still see that the dialer is still up, and it's still bound to virtual access to. But after a while, it should show that. Let me do this command. Session. So it's still up. Physical port facing the ISP, dialer 1, virtual template, virtual access. We're using virtual access, or the dialer 1 is bound to virtual access 2, and it's up. Its state is up. So yeah, after a while, the virtual access 2 went down. So it says here. So I'm actually gonna do dialer show interface dialer 1. So you see here earlier that this dialer 1 is bound to virtual interface, but now it's not anymore. And if we actually do, oops, I think I'm scrolling a little too fast. We'll do this command. It doesn't have it doesn't have any configuration, but earlier it should have the configuration of this dialer interface. So it's just I mean, this virtual access 2, we didn't configure this. It was created automatically. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and no shut gig 0/0, and we should see that the dialer interface will be bound to virtual access to interface again. So dialer 1. So here it says that it's bound to virtual access to again. So I'm gonna do this command and this command we can compare the configuration. Okay, actually when I checked before, this virtual access to, it had the same configuration with the dialer interface 1, but no, it doesn't. So I think it's because I bounced the dialer interface. But let me do this command again. Show IP interface brief. So you see that dialer interface is up now, and it's got an IP address via IPCP. And one more thing I need to show you is that this IP address here is pool. It's from the pool that is created on the server device. So it's 10.1.1.2. So yeah, that's how you can configure and verify PPPoE. So yep, that's it in this video. Thanks for watching.